Hey, 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 people.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Queenagers. I'm Nana Evans and my friends call me Nans.
I'm Sharona Knight and my friends call me Shay.
Or
She be cool.
Or
Sugar Shay K.
Sharona is out here looking fabulous of sorts.
You know, like every week I'm going to come in with something really ridiculous or fabulous. I don't know what you want to call these. I'm going to call them the black superhero.
Yeah, you know what? You do look like it's the family. Is it the Spy Family?
Yeah,
I can see them, all the Incredibles.
It's all one of them, yeah.
The mum has that kind of look on her. Yes.
Like, well, the thing is, when you put them on, it makes you look like you're going. Oh, they're fabulous. You can only keep them on for a certain amount of time though, because they're black. Like, you know, like some sunglasses, like they feel like they're just glasses with a little bit of a tint. No, you can't see nothing out the side. You can't drive with these because you can't see nothing.
Yes, and they're quite firm around.
They're quite firm, and they literally block out everything. I tried to drive with them. It wasn't a good experience.
Oh Lord in heaven. Thank you.
I got here.
There we go. They are fabulous.
They'll come back though.
Oh, lovely. All right. So today's episode, the title is Wild Shit White People Do.
That's right.
And that's what we're going to be exploring. All of the wild shit that white people do.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Royal Scroll this week, I wanted to focus on a clip by a woman called Casey Anthony. Do you know of this woman? Have you heard of her? So Casey Anthony had a trial,
yes, I do know.
And she was acquitted.
Yes. I was going to send that to you, actually. It's
exactly. See, that she didn't kill her daughter, Kaylee Anthony, although it did take her 31 days in order to go to the police about her daughter being missing. But all of a sudden, she pops up on TikTok, like 13 years later or however many years it is, and she has a message for all of us.
Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included.
What is she saying?
For the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights. I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact. So you will get very comfortable with my car. And
I'm baffled.
What is that? Why is she now a legal advocate? I'm out here thinking you just by the hair of your chinny chin chin got away with murder.
Yeah.
but everybody knows it, but you're free. Why are you doing this?
Do you know what? Honestly, I've been really, really into those sort of like crime mystery kind of programs and crime mystery investigation programs like of late. I think I watched one and it was just like they just kept on advertising on Netflix. And I watched at least like in the last 2-3 weeks, about 8 of them. Right. And the thing that seems to run like throughout all of them is all those who was murdering people, family, ex-girlfriends, partners, you know, affairs or whatever. They all had this penchant for lying through their teeth, and then needing to tell everybody why they're innocent, but without actually saying why they're innocent. Now, to me, if this is the first time you're using the platform and you're trying to sort of clear your name, I'm guessing, then wouldn't that be the first thing you do in the first sort of like 10 minutes of this video? You would at least at some point be like, I have been vilified. I never did this, blah, 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 blah. Otherwise, you have no need to be on there. Like, if you're free, why do you need to address everybody?
Because why is anybody going to go to Casey Anthony for some type of legal advice? Why are you going to do that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What was this for? Because I'm like, was she advertising it for like business?
She is. She's a legal advocate, and if you have any legal problems,
so she's
get
trying
in touch
to play
with her.
Well, okay, I get it. So she's like the hero.
Yes,
she has the hero complex. Wow,
it's a bit crazy. I did watch so many of the little like interviews, documentaries on her, and I was like, you're insane.
Yeah.
You're a pathological liar.
So I know you want to ask me about the last day she was here, the last day that I saw her, the day she disappeared. I know that's what it's all leading up to. I can tell you about what I remember from that morning. It's not much. For my entire life. Because I'm used to someone opening the door while I'm asleep. I'm used to being on alert, especially with my child next to me. It's part of the reason she slept in bed with me so much. In my bed, with pillows stuffed against the wall, with the bed up against it so she couldn't fall, so the bed couldn't move.
Were the doors unlocked to your bedroom?
I thought that I had locked it, but maybe not. It's possible that the door was unlocked. I know my dad was at home. But I fell asleep and was asleep for a while. And I was awoken by him shaking me and asking me where Kaylee was, which didn't make sense because I looked next to me and that's where she was. TV was still on. She would never even leave my room without telling me, even if she had to go to the bathroom. She'd never just leave me there. She knew she wasn't allowed to just be in the house by herself. And I immediately start looking around the house. Her room, what used to be my brother's room, in the bathroom, my parents' room, the garage. I go outside and I'm looking to see where she could be. She's not in her playhouse. Where is she? Why is she not here? Didn't make sense. Still doesn't make sense. She'd never done that before. Why that day?
Did you look inside the pool?
Didn't have to. By the time I came back around from the left side of the house, I came back around towards the front porch. She's standing there with her. She's soaking wet. I can see him standing there with her in his arms and hand her to me and telling me that it's my fault, that I did that I caused that. And I just collapsed with her in my arms.
What did she feel like?
She was heavy. She was cold. As I'm sitting there with her on my lap, just hysterical. Just staring at her, not knowing what to do. He takes her from me and he immediately softens his tone and tells me it's going to be okay. That she was going to be okay. That's what he said to me. I wanted to believe him because I wanted her to be okay. And I don't know how long I sat outside. I don't know where he went. He took her from me and he walked away. I know he went back in through the screen doors and he went back into the house. But I don't know where she went. And I don't know what he did. I just want her back. That's all I wanted this entire time. I can tell you about how numb I felt and how broken I felt and confused, but also hopeful because I believed that she was still okay. And I know people are going to question, well, why didn't I make a phone call? Why didn't I call 911? Why did I even wait to tell my mom anything? But I didn't tell her anything. Why lie? Why not do 100 things 100 different ways? But I have to live with that, knowing that I failed to protect my child and that I kept failing her even after that. I failed her again and again and again because I still protected the person who hurt me.
And even when she's talking in this, does she not look like a crazy liar?
That's halfway through. You're like, okay, first and foremost, you have to always do this thing with these people. If they've got a good face, do not be fooled. Just because they've got a pretty face or whatever, you kind of go, oh, maybe they're not. No, you really have to listen to what people are saying. And halfway through, as you're watching it, even she like has this doubtful look of, what am I talking about?
Precisely.
It's like she has it, and then you're like, yeah, but what are you talking about at this point? I went to watch it and I said, no, I'm going to watch it with Nans. It didn't even get too involved because I'd been watching these other ones.
It's the psychopaths that dwell amongst us, because also she had 2 clinical psychologists say that she isn't clinically insane. So then...
Same thing.
Why? Okay, so if they don't follow the path to be clinically insane, what is this that people can just go about killing? Like I have no doubt she killed her own daughter.
Yeah.
And she is flaunting it in all of our faces. And there's something that's in that is a bit a part of white pathology, that crazy shit can go on in the world and they seem to just be like, oh well, like this is how it is.
It's like being above the law.
Yeah.
It's like just being above everything that really is there to kind of like keep people safe. You fly above it. And the fact that she's just kind of online, just I'm back out. I'm back out. I'm trying to make some money. Believe in me, this is the only way that I can make money because no one's going to employ me. It's just I don't know. Wow. This is the thing about it. What's the scary thing about it is that there are certain people can get away with these things.
Yeah.
And there's certain people that cannot.
This is the thing. All right. So in Life's a Lesson, there's lots of white content creators who are out here trying to educate their fellow whites on racism and just generally like how to be better people, I would say. So let's see what they're up to. And maybe we can learn something too.
Ask me what was my aha moment, what made me change my perspective. And it's when I saw this. So a black person in the United States during the Jim Crow era faced second-class citizenship, disenfranchisement, barriers to voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, and barriers to housing. Then we had the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which stated we could no longer do any of this. We could no longer discriminate based on race. So in 2023, what is the only group of people that we can legally discriminate against? We can legally relegate to second-class citizenship, create barriers to voting, barriers to education, barriers to employment, barriers to housing. If you answered convicted felon, you are absolutely correct. In 2023, a convicted felon is the only group of people that we can legally do all this to. Now, do you believe it's a coincidence that 1 in 3 black males carry this label as convicted felon, as opposed to 1 in 17 white males? If you answered yes to that question, let's take a look at what's happened since the dismantling of the Jim Crow laws. We've had a 700% increase in our prison population. We've gone from 300,000 inmates to as high as 2.3 million. Now, I do believe we're back down to about 1.8 million today. We had the law and order agenda, which was an increase in police spending and a decrease in school funding, which created the school to prison pipeline. We also had the war on drugs, which we now know was a war on people. We had the 1986 Anti-Drug Abuse Act, and we had the 1994 Crime Bill. Now, the 86 Anti-Drug Abuse Act differentiated between rock cocaine and powder cocaine, which we know predominantly impacted the black community. And the 94 Crime Bill created harsher sentences, lengthier sentences, and minimum mandatories. We also know that black people make up 53% of all exonerations, 69% of exonerations for drug crimes, and they're 7 times more likely to be wrongly convicted. So when I seen all of this, I realized that racism in this country never ended. We have a systemic issue.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw a whiteboard and I went, "Oh, come on, dude! Like, why are we doing this?" But
You learned something.
well, I mean, we know this. This is the thing, isn't it? You know, what's the lady that did When They See Us? When They See Us, this is When They See Us.
Oh, Ava DuVernay.
So you know, she did the one with the prison system documentary.
Yes.
And I think that kind of like showed me from the perspective of what was literally happening in America is just that when they had the civil rights movement, all they did is they said, well, we just need to find another way to imprison them and keep them working for us for free.
Yeah.
And
little pennies.
Literally, you know, when they're working in these sort of like prisons, they're doing hard labor.
Yeah.
They're not just doing any small things. They're contributing to society. It lets you know exactly what's going on. And I think that they've been doing that everywhere. But I think there's only been certain places. When I say everywhere, I mean like westernized civilization. Because when I remember David Cameron went to Jamaica and they said they want reparations. And in response to the asks of reparations, he was like, how about we give you money towards a prison?
Yeah. Yes. For us to send our prisoners. It always has to be a backhanded deal like that. It's always like, if we're going to give you a transfer of money for anything, and however we're going to dress this up, because we're never going to say it's reparations, but we could, in effect, give you 600 million and also build a prison, and you got to look after our prisoners.
Yeah.
And we'll keep on giving you money. How's that sound for reparations?
You guys can provide us with, you know, goods and things that have been done.
Yes,
because
fair trade.
Your labourers are really
It's not going to
good.
be fair. It's going to be, you know, we're going to pay you pennies for all of your natural resources. But we're
Jamaicans are strong people, you know. I mean, it's not like they're not strong people. So, you know, you'd be getting a good deal.
This is always the way.
I think it just stands to reason that what did he say? Legally, not convicted. It was legally.
Oh, that can be second-class citizens.
Yes. They can't do this and they can't do that.
Yeah.
To knacker them is to do that. Interesting.
This is another one. This is a white woman.
When white people came to Africa, they came showing themselves as superior to the black people, digging out things that black people taught them. You know, what we don't have in our history books is that the civilization we have in Europe today was brought to us by black people. Even black people don't know that. Even many black people don't know that. They don't know that the Moors, they were West Africans and North Africans and Central Africans that came to Europe and ruled Spain. They brought civilization to us. They showed us how to use soap, how to be clean, how to behave like a decent human being, you know? All these things we didn't know that before the Moors brought civilization to Spain. Did you know that the Moors ruled in Spain for 700 years? Where is that in our history books? It's nowhere to be found. Because why? If you are giving black people that power of having once ruled over white people, wouldn't black people start like kind of questioning, oh, we were once at that point of having such a power in a white man's country over white people, and where are we now? So of course they have to hide that history from you people, because knowing your true history is knowing your true power, and knowing your true power means you will break out from that system of racism.
Now, I still think most black people know this.
Yeah, of course we do.
It isn't new. It's not rammed down our throats though, but most people know this. But I do wonder, do white people know?
Do they
Is
know
she Nigerian as well? Was that Nigerian accent?
Hey, yo.
was it a Nigerian accent?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think that they would have even considered it. No, there's a lot of people that don't know it and don't think about it from that perspective. But I do think that at some point in their lives, they get to a realization that they're not doing certain things, like creaming.
Yeah.
Like I remember that revelation when it was just like, you know, there was videos, it was like, you've been hiding the butters.
Yes.
You know, and it was just like, well, have you not been creaming?
Not at all.
Like
lotion is such a new thing. Remember, like oil of Ulay was only used on people's faces.
Mate,
they weren't creaming their hands unless it started to get wrinkly. Then they had a moisturizer for hands, but they absolutely weren't creaming their legs.
It was a big mistake when I tried to use my grand's oil of Ulay on my face at 7 years old. Oh, wow. It's really not for our skin. Like, no. Actually, I broke out in a rash.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I was like, but obviously it wasn't like cocoa butter like what we was using at home.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that realization, I remember making a shea butter mix, and I put like sort of like almond oil in it and some other bits and pieces and whatever, and was using it on my body and at some point on my hair at the time. I don't really use it on my hair so much now, but I was using it on my hair. And I shared it with a friend who was white. And she was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I think like about 2 months later, she'd gone on like Instagram making a video about making the cream. Now, as I really don't care for it, because I know there's bare people doing stuff like out there anyway. So I wasn't really precious myself. I wasn't the first person to mix and blend shea or cocoa butter. I was not the first, but I was dying at the way in which it was like, she discovered this thing. And so I do think at some point they go, like what this woman's doing, did you not know? I don't even think some black people, and like, no, a lot of us do. It's whether we actually like,
they can't help themselves,
give that information to you that we know that you lot was like living it. Remember polio was like because of them, like, you know, they went over.
It's the reselling and repackaging of history that it's like, you're going to go somewhere, you're going to go to Africa and be like, we are the civilized ones here, guys. Like, although throughout history, it's Africans that have gone around and taught all various different people what we knew. And it's exactly the same as your friend did do. You've been taught something, but then you go online and repackage it like you came up with it. Yeah. I just happened to be experimenting with shea butter. Don't lie.
White people were eating their slaves.
Yeah, that was the thing.
One of the most famous cases of this is Nat Turner, a man who led one of the largest slave rebellions of his time. Turner was eventually caught and he was flayed, and they used his skin to make a coin purse, while his bones were divided out as trophies to be passed down as heirlooms. And lastly, What was left of him was turned into grease. Slavers at the time described black people as seasoned, as all food should be. And more seasoned potentially meant more money when selling them at auctions. Slavery in its entirety was cannibalistic. They cannibalized their lives, their souls, and yes, even their bodies. My goal for this knowledge is to be used as a tool or a weapon to fight back against these narratives. The narratives that they were well fed, had a roof over their head, or they didn't have it that bad.
Look up the book called The Delectable Negro. Read it. It'll teach you a lot.
Visit shop.mrwelltraveled.com or click the link in the bio to get the book. Every day is Juneteenth.
Is that not nuts? And when we were being taught slavery in school, I don't remember them talking about this aspect of it.
Don't you remember actually trying to figure out what the Industrial Revolution relevance was?
Yes.
I had that argument with Miss Ricketts. Like,
we spent time on that. It was like, when were the dates again?
Yeah.
And they kept on going over it, and they were introducing new bits, and we never got to the slavery part.
No.
We never spoke about that.
And there was never this connection between the two. Because I was always just like, well, where are they getting these things from?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it only really kind of slowly starts dawning on you later on when you do the math.
Yeah.
Especially because in the West Indies, and I don't know about all other islands, but in Barbados, they don't really go down the lane of Black history in slavery times. They don't really kind of broach on that. You will know stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and there'll be books, maybe not necessarily around the house, because there's more Bibles in Barbados homes than
everywhere. That's what
books on slavery. But you would not know the ins and outs of what was happening when they first got there. You would only know about what happened within probably the last 100 years.
Yeah.
In Barbados,
like the fight for freedom,
but also just what happened once indentured slavery kind of was over, and then when they still had like certain places like cotton fields and stuff like that, and sugarcane fields, but you were being paid at that point.
Okay.
But they still had, overseers with guns.
Yeah.
Up until the 40s. Do you know what I mean?
It's exactly the same in Ghana. First time I went, and we took my niece to the castle in Almina, and she was totally oblivious, and actually was studying at that moment to be a teacher.
Oh. Wow.
And me and my sister were asking her, so you don't know anything about slavery? And she was like, I've heard the term, but not really. I've heard that some people got taken. It's it's not some people got taken from here, it's millions. It's just total shock. This is an educated Ghanaian. We go to and even when she was in the castle, it's there's a disconnect, because it's not in relation to her. You're not being taught it. So it's a bit that's outside of, and they're okay now, aren't they? They're all in, as she would see it, they're all in America doing fine. They're doing better than us now. There was a real disconnect in actually, this is something that is a part of all of our history.
Well,
and when it's being resold to us as well and retold, there's lots missing, because you're not telling us the full story. Because why would you? You're cannibals.
Regarding how much sort of lies has been told since Bible's sort of time, especially. So it's consistently just telling half-truths and telling versions of the truth, just so that it was, it's like control. If you tell people versions of the truth, you control the narrative.
Yes, yeah.
And so it's that's really what was going on. And I'm not surprised about that. I saw something the other day about this woman who did this to her husband. She was really good with knives and stuff, and she was really good at certain types of things. I think she was in the army or something anyway. She skinned him alive. No, sorry. She skinned him. I think she killed him and then skinned him. She then cut up his parts of his body and his organs.
Noticed, producer man, Lee, you have not said a word.
Wait.
I didn't know that I was here because I never got introduced.
Wait. Wait. Just before you do, because I do want your opinion. She skinned him, with precision. She then cut up parts of his body and then served it as dinner, and then put his children's name as place cards. And then she tried to kill herself.
Who did she serve the dinner to?
No one, because she just put it as if to say, when you find this, just know that I meant this dinner for you, for his children.
That's clearly somebody that's not well.
She's not alive either. But it was like... But
do you want your
you would
intro
never
now?
know.
Well, let's have some parliamentary procedure here,
Okay.
as Mr. Eubanks would say. I just feel like, it's rude, isn't it?
To just start talking.
It's rude, yeah. Well, no. Number one, it would be rude on my part to start talking, but it's rude on your part to have me here and not even introduce me.
You're
It's rude.
right.
Okay,
do you know
sorry.
what? We did completely bypass that.
Yeah.
And then I even tried to
took
bypass
half an
it
hour.
more.
I know, I just realised. I was literally like, producer man Nee hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So we have producer man Nee in the house. Nee, Date, our producer. Nee,
We're gonna have to find a new one because Aaron Pierre is Mufasa is like long gone now, and like there's other people in the mix now. There's other people that look like Aaron Pierre that's getting love as well. So we need to find another song for Mr. Nee. Do you have another song for us that we can sing for you?
No, I don't. You guys may continue.
Okay, we'll continue again. Nee,
Date, our producer. Nee, Date, our producer.
Nee.
Thank you.
Soon come.
There we go.
Even though I had to remind you.
It's a beg and plea for just
I don't beg, darling. I don't beg.
Oh my word. Yes, because there's so many of your shenanigans. I was like, let's give Sharona's shenanigans a chance to breathe.
I'm gonna tell you
Intro
now.
it. What have you got?
Sharona Knight's stupidness, right?
Yes.
When I say the thing is, I actually think some of these videos had been accumulated from way, way, way back anyway, because it was just every time I saw something, I'd be like, what the? And I would just save it. Just so that I could send it the next morning.
Wild shit white people do.
Sometimes you can't send it like at 12 o'clock at night or at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you just save it. And then eventually they just built up, but it just turned into wild shit that white people do.
Yes, there's a lot. This is at random, so
I don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know the order.
I'm not.
You got a question for Sylvia?
I have a really bad problem with social anxiety. I can't freak out. I can't.
You're doing pretty good now. But let me tell you where this comes from. You were accused of being a witch in a past life. You were put in a circle and you had to name 2 people so that supposedly you wouldn't die. Except they didn't tell you that. They just said, tell us 2 people. You named 2 people and all 3 of you were hung. So no wonder you have social anxiety.
Thank you.
So she's just taking that bullshit, yeah? The woman just looked at you, gave you a story, you're in tears, and you say thank you, and you're going to take it on. She told you was a witch, and you're like, yeah. That makes sense. That's why I have social anxiety.
Where is she?
On Montel Williams show.
Wow.
Do you know what? It's the way that she didn't even let the woman even explain any further. It's just like, it's okay, I understand. You was in the club, you was this, and that's why you had social. Okay, thank you. Like literally,
I don't even see the correlation. You was a witch. You had to give some witches up, and all of you got killed.
And that's
equals social anxiety in your next life.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
How?
Because you get
because you are responsible for giving up your friends, and so like you've kind of got that.
She didn't say they were friends. She said they were just
her fellow witches. I'm assuming witches are friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can see how that would work.
Huh?
You would take that on into the next life. So the whole thing is, if you're a witch,
social anxiety.
if you're a witch, and you're being hunted, okay, that alone is going to give you social anxiety. Will it not give you social anxiety?
It's going to give you something.
Because back in the day, they didn't call it social anxiety, but now you'd call it social anxiety because, like, whenever you step out your front door, these people are like they're out to get you.
And she found herself on national television in the studio audience talking about her social anxiety, and then she's being told she's a witch. Thank you.
The way that she's accepted
because it resonated. It resonated.
She accepted. The thing is, all the tears, all the social anxiety. By the time she got to the answer, she was like, "Oh, okay." Like, is it to say it was like there was no social anxiety?
Have you guys never spoken to someone or had one of those kind of encounters where they kind of tell you about yourself without knowing about yourself, and you're just like, yeah, that's all true.
Yeah, I have had it once.
So what's the difference?
I think I've actually given it more than.
If I stand up somewhere and they give me a cock and bull story that you were a witch and I just stood up and you're just looking into the audience, I'm gonna be like, that woman gave me a story.
Yeah,
but that's me. I don't know.
All right, but what if the only reason that she was able to accept that so easily is because this is actually something she's been thinking?
Oh, good.
Like if she's like, you're going about your business like in a past life.
That she thought she was a witch that killed 2 other witches, and then
there might not be the rest of that backstory, but you are like, there's something about me where I feel like I was a witch in another life. That's not inconceivable.
Let's see the next madness that white people can do.
Does that not look like someone called Cuthbert?
He does. And to have a mask on that is like blackface.
Oh, mate.
And to go out in public like this, I believe they do that. It is on sale.
It's on sale.
It's on sale. The mask is on sale for €265. You too can look like a black man. All you got to do is put on a latex mask. It goes down to the chest. You can go running and you can experience being a black man.
Do you know what I would like to happen? I would like someone to do that and then get beaten up by the police.
Oh, I thought exactly
because as soon they're going to be no, like that white woman that was black, and she goes to the corner and prays to God, please God save me, turn me back white, and then God blesses her with the whiteness, and now she knows the black experience.
What's going on here?
In that moment, I realized everything. I was human, and I was going to die. Oh, God. Oh, Father, please. Please. I'm so afraid. Oh, dear God in heaven, I'm so afraid. Please. Make me white again. Please, no. Please, don't.
Relax, lady.
Yeah, I will insert.
It's one of those Lifetime movie films, isn't it?
Yeah. It was actually a series.
Yeah.
It was called, I think it was like The Angel, and it was basically kind of a bit like Quantum Leap. So the angel will go and save people, and basically that was one of their most viewed episodes that people was like, that was great. That was a real thrill.
Get to be black for the day.
No,
it kind of looks like a black man.
It looks like certain type of black man.
Yeah. Like, all that kind of Frank Bruno-y.
This one.
Pedal that book slow, fast, stomp. Who wants a new hat? Hey, keep it. Don't say I never tipped nobody. Check out these finger guns. Now this is hip hop. I should know. I used to be a fly girl. Now watch this.
Oh Lord, J-Lo.
That woman is hilarious. Like, she always does it for at the end, but that moment is perfect because literally, why are you doing that?
She was doing nothing. Like, that whole little performance was, I'm not gonna dance. And she weren't singing because J-Lo can't sing for Hootenanny. But
every time I see her in these like shorter clips now, it is a bit like, because it has to not be the angle of the real camera. The angle of the real camera for J-Lo always makes her look good. If it's from the side,
because it's like tight and then it moves around. Yeah,
and it's like they know who she is and they know how they want her to be seen.
So true.
The moment they turn it to the side, you see it for the mess that it is.
She's just basically walking around on stage.
Oh mate, it kills me.
Oh my word! There's another clip I've seen, and she's singing.
Yes.
Who's she singing with? And the guy's all enthralled, and he like kisses her, and it's literally like, this is terrible.
It's terrible.
She is trying to belt out a note that nobody ever wants to hear.
It's bad though.
That girl, I don't know how. You know what? Whoever she's praying to, boy, she needs to share her prayers.
I mean, at this point, I'll probably just blame Puffy and keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? Because he got something to do with
it. there is that. You know what? It is Puffy. There was another clip I saw of Shantae Moore.
Oh yeah.
J-Lo and I came out around the same time when her first album came out. And Rodney Jerkins actually came and wrote this wonderful song for me called If I Gave Love. And you know, the Jennifer Lopez song was If You Had My Love. He wrote the same song for her. I heard that it was because Puff Daddy walked in and heard my song and said, I want that song. And he was like, yeah, well, that's already taken. You know, we wrote that for Shantae and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, I want that song. So Rodney wrote really the same song. Honestly, if you hear my song, it's the same song. Mine says, if you had my love and baby, that give me. If you had my trust, would you use it against me? Hers, I don't know. Can't even remember because it's so close. I can't even sing it right now. But we should have been aggressive instead of backing off our single, because that was going to be my next single after Shantae's Got a Man. And we backed off of it because J-Lo had such a machine at the time. We should have just stepped out.
And her version is so much better than J-Lo's, but obviously that was a huge monster hit for J-Lo. And her team was like, we're not going against Puffy. So J-Lo stole that tune as well as stealing Ashanti's vocals as well.
Did she steal it or did Puffy steal it?
Both of them.
Well,
you know you weren't the singer, innit?
They know what? They're both enemies of progress.
Yeah. They are.
Certain types of people, yeah.
They are.
That is crazy.
You know, birds of a feather, as they say.
Indeed.
License on you at all, mate?
I don't have a driver's license. I have one, sorry. I have a driver's license. I lost it.
Lost it?
I did.
So at the moment you're going to be stopped and searched under Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act. Take a breath. It's fine. Because
it's not fine.
If there's no drugs in the car, then it's fine, isn't it? So have a breath.
Hold on a second.
What do you need to do?
I've just came out of cardiac surgery.
Have you?
Backwards.
That's okay. No. 2 seconds.
Oh my God. I haven't had my meds this morning.
So listen, take a breath.
Can I clip out?
You're not under arrest, Toby.
I know that, but what if I am?
What if you are?
Yeah,
why would you be?
Huh?
Why would you?
No, I've got my Chinese in the car.
It's not illegal to have Chinese in the car.
No, I know that.
Right?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah?
There is something in the car.
Is it illegal stuff or is it just
stuff? Illegal stuff.
That looks like crystal meth to me.
He has more drugs than super drugs.
That dude
I just want to die.
is out here. Well, maybe, yeah, he's got 14.
That's why he's got 14, I was going to say.
Yeah. But
you know,
that's not a dealer. That's
you
a lot.
know that's not all he had in the car, right? He just was like, that's the place. You see where they picked it up from?
Yeah.
That's where they're going to see it. What's in the boot, mate? What's in the boot? Because you know he had a party up in that car.
Nah, but he's a dealer though.
Yeah. But I was like, he could have got away with it. There was one point where I was just like, dude, just shut up, innit? Like, they're literally not going
because they're not going to bring a dog or anything. They were just going to do a little, unless they had intel.
I have a feeling like maybe he does know. Maybe he knows the drill. So he just admitted it.
Yeah, they would have absolutely gone into the car and found all of this stuff. I don't know. But the whole breathing thing and saying you had heart surgery.
Yeah, we should do that.
And trying to show us something that was not there. Like there was no scar or anything that we could see. Yeah, we got to try those ones.
People
another time, he may have been like, you know what? Go. Like, get home safe, Gary. Like, tell.
But it was a lie though, right? Because I swear he showed his chest and nothing was there.
There was something there. If he did have a scar, he may have been shooed on his way. But imagine that you're bopping about with your Chinese and you got a whole bag full of drugs. not a little one.
Because it's like he was about to admit it. Because the Chinese in there. Oh, by the way, there's something else in there.
I don't have a license. No, I do have a license. I've just lost it. You're just lying.
You're lying, dude.
Yeah. When he said I do have something, you're right. He has more. That's the bag he's giving you, but there's loads more in there. He's probably one of those. When he gets in there, he's going to be like, I'm not saying nothing. And he's all stone-faced. And...
Yeah, totally. Yeah. He just needed time to kind of get his game face together. That's all. Oh, yeah, I see it. I mean, they're breaking the car.
But that's a smashed window.
They're coming.
We got it.
Your man said that. Look how she's crying. No, they're next level. So, how do you terrorize your girlfriend in order to do a proposal? How does that work? You get all of your man them to jump out of a van,
smash up the car, you know.
She is being
attacked.
She's literally going to be dragged out of the car and be held hostage.
Yeah.
That's what they presented it.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you're going to propose. I'm kicking off.
I don't know when these things became popular. Like, there's the one that actually really upset me was one in America where it's a black couple.
No, not black folks doing this shit.
It's a black couple getting pulled over by a white police officer, and so
funny.
obviously I'm watching the video the first time. I don't know what I'm watching in it. I'm thinking I'm watching a normal day in America.
Yeah.
Black man's getting pulled over, and the officer's like, "Can you wind down your window?" But the guy's like, "What have I done?" And then he says something like, this one wasn't a proposal. Check this one out. So he's like, the reason why I'm stopping you is because you're riding without a child seat. He's like, but I don't have a child. And then he's like remonstrating with the officer, and then the wife pulls out a picture of a scan.
No.
Absolutely.
These are not
absolutely.
These are not cute things to like surprise. They're actually traumatizing events. And no, you don't do things like that to people. That woman could have wet herself in that seat.
No way. Like let's be honest here. There's absolutely no way I'm forgiving foolish pranks.
No.
You see me in pranks yet? Do you know what's actually funny now? It's getting to a point where my family just don't do it to Sharona. Like, you know, like if you want to like try and, trip up like somebody in a jokey way.
Yeah.
Like they'll do it to each other and they'll come running over to me like, let's do it to auntie, let's do it to mum, let's do it to Sharona. And every single one of them, every time they come up to me, Baba, she was like, yeah. You know, you can't kick mummy. And my brother proceeded to try, and I said, don't you dare.
I don't know how she didn't just kick the man. From when I'm bawling like that in the car, like I think this is it for me.
And you've got it on camera.
These are end days, and then you're there with flowers.
That's it, innit?
Oh my!
If you marry that person, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I think so.
You know, in the last episode, there was the husband that was feeding the wife.
It's that.
That's the type of husband that does that.
That's right. Yeah. That's this is the beginning.
Yes.
And then like later on, but the thing is,
disguised as
for her too.
It was amazing. Like I wanted you to have a thrill if she does marry, she
did say, propose to me in a different way. So you see, this is the foolishness that they create.
I think if a woman says to a man, propose to me in a different way, I think what she might expect is
fly me away and
or a skydive or something like that.
I would. Yeah. That's the thoughts that
I
went through
don't
my
want
head.
to think I'm about to die. No, I'm getting married.
Yeah.
No, those two thoughts.
And you smashed the car window.
The thing is,
like
they smashed out the back. They crashed the front of it, and then they smashed the hole in the back window.
No,
I'd be upset.
Mate, it's not. No.
I'd be upset thoroughly. Yeah. I'd be like, "What's wrong with you?" Kick him in his neck.
Yo, ever since moving to Flatbush, Brooklyn, I've met so many Jamaican people. They are so cool. I love the music and culture. But all my family back home in Ohio is worried. Are you gonna bashment parties? Are you gonna bruck up on a big body gal? And I tell my mom right to her face, Mom, listen to this.
Gone, me gone in a smaddy dog. Bad man, shape up on the alley-bar. My girl, if you pay for me cocky with them granny pad. Back it up, kill it up, make me tab it hard. Blood clot, I want you to be your body shine.
This is what your family's scared of.
Me addicted to bad bitch and marijuana.
Mom, chill out, okay? Chill out, Mom.
You know what's funny? I had a conversation with Mike the other day. Mike tried to show me a similar video. There's a video going around of these white boys in a red top and he's skanking, like sort of thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was just like, I don't find this stuff amusing.
They're not funny.
But my thing is that, and this sounds a bit Karenish, and I totally accept that, is that when you flip it the other way around. So like the example I gave was when people get excited when they see a white person speaking an African language or speaking patois. Like, oh my gosh, isn't it amazing? No. And it's like, there are black people all over the world speaking languages that are not their mother tongue, and we don't get this excited. So I can't get excited for these things, like at all. Like, so what?
No, I did actually find a video of a black woman doing, it's not Morris dancing. What's the Irish one? The jig? Irish jig?
Yeah.
I think I actually put it in that group as well. And I was like, this is probably the only time where you'll see it reverse, and people are like, "Oh wow,"
or like
we don't ever
speaking
think
Chinese or something.
Yeah, something that is slightly different. But it's never actually funny. It's actually more embarrassing. That's when I watch it, I think I'm embarrassed for you,
and
that's why I'm laughing.
You know,
I'm
it's
not
a real
with you.
fear for his family, like him living in Flatbush. His family are like, the blacks are going to corrupt you. And when people display that, it actually makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's the scariest thing for his family. It's literally like, this is why we don't want you to live there, son.
Right, this goes out to Sean Paul. I'm looking to see if you see any of my videos. I want to do a future video of you. Yeah, big up Sean Paul. Just giving a rise, ding ding ding. Just giving a spice when I close the door. So man down on my floor. If you come to my city by night, it'll be on the floor. If we had sanitation, I'll be at yourself for more. If there's green spice on the window, sell me apple core. If you want more money on Friday, I'll knock you out on your floor.
Where is the rhythm? Where is the 8-bar?
Why in our UK prisons is there so many telephones?
Why is there so many
mobiles?
Filming and having jovial moments. Like, why are they not working?
I think it was clear from when we were seeing pornos.
Yeah.
The prison system is a joke.
Oh my God.
They're having fun times in there. You got 2-man, he had a backup dancer, you got the guy filming you got it posted online. How's his prison, please?
They say it. There was
don't get me wrong, I still don't want to go.
No, but there was one guy who was like middle class. He was a teenager, like so 19, and he was just like, it was blessed to like go prison. He actually like when he got caught another time, he was just like, cool, because you can play PlayStation, you get a nice warm room, everything.
How empty has your life got to be to be oh yeah, cool.
But if you're just middle class or upper class and you're trying to be a bad man, that's a big
it
thing.
Works, isn't it? It's like
because you're no longer like you're no longer like this little dweeby boy that's been given a little hand up.
Yeah,
you're a bad man in a UK prison. No, God forbid, because none of them would be able to handle American prisons. That's what I do know. Yeah,
that's for sure. That is all of them in this run of our part 1, because there definitely will be a part 2 of wild shit that white people do, because there was a lot of them in the folder.
There's a lot. I've even put new ones this morning. That's how many wild things there are.
Craziness. All right, so now we go into our great debaters section, the battle, when we are going to debate for or against on a statement.
Jesus is a white heterosexual man. It's against Christianity for Cynthia Erivo to play him.
You're for.
For. I didn't remember. I'm for.
I'm against.
Okay. Who's going first? I always go first. You go first.
Okay. I'm against. Jesus is not white. If you go to the Bible, Jesus is described in the Bible as a man with wool hair. And if you go to where it is geographically, white people are not there. So even if we are going on the premise that the Bible is real and the New Testament definitely did take place and there was such a man that was called Jesus, the Son of God, he would be from the Middle East and not white, and definitely has curly hair and definitely does not look like most of the depictions with blue eyes and blonde hair. That isn't it. So I would say just on that alone, my first thing is Jesus absolutely was not a white man.
Hang on, wasn't you supposed to be arguing that Jesus was a white man?
No, you're for the statement.
Am I?
Yes.
I thought I was against.
No, you're for.
Okay, all right.
Would you like Russell to read out the statement?
No, I'm just thinking, was I on the side? Okay, all right. So I was building my argument for the fact that he was black, but let's go back. If you look into history, there have been sightings. This is why we have our testaments. The testaments from the Hebrew that was then translated into the English language by 14 clergymen. It's not like they just turned the information around and was just like, in the Bible, it does say that, he had burnt, bronze skin and woolly hair.
Where is she right now?
But, yeah, on the real, even if he had burnt, bronze skin and woolly hair, that does not mean he was black. He could be slightly sort of like there was Egyptian looking people.
She's just saying words.
When the Romans, I don't know if you know the Romans, Italians, they used to have like slightly curly hair, and they had like this olive skin.
Yeah.
So he may not have been blonde with blue eyes, but I definitely think that if you look into history and the sightings that they had of him, and the fact that they then drew pictures off the back of those sightings, it's clear to me that he is a white heterosexual man. Now, the problem here isn't that Cynthia Erivo is like, cosplaying here or anything like that. That's not the problem here. The problem isn't even so much that she's black. It's that it's a man, and as far as I'm concerned, Jesus, as we know it, no matter which way, whether he was slightly olive skinned, looking like an Italian guy, or looking like, someone from Somalia or someone from Eritrea, he still was a man. So why are we having Jesus played by a woman, and a black woman at that?
Okay. Now, if we go back to the Jesus Christ superstar that we were brought up on, Judas was played by a black man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we are to follow through on the premise that you have put before us, Judas definitely probably would have been looking very similar to Jesus as well. So Jesus and Judas would have been the same race. But in that show, they gave license to Judas being the only black man in the whole thing. I think to follow through on what they had set forth, that the villain of the piece was a black man, it's only right that the next time that we are going to get the Jesus superstar extravaganza is done by a black woman. To me, it seems fitting that the star of the show and the hero of the piece would be a black woman, because black women have been carrying the world on their shoulders. And I think it's okay for this new iteration to be celebrated by the one and only Cynthia Erivo. She has a voice of an angel. I think God would be proud.
The question is, if you was given that role, Nana, would you play Jesus?
Yes, I would.
Do you really think that that would be doing wonders for your career?
Yes.
So when you think about this, in history, Jesus has continuously been played by a white male, and it has always done wonders for their career. What do you think then this is going to do to white men that, need to have that career? This is their role. And if you think about You know, we're constantly taking from the men these days. Women are no longer sort of like this sort of, oh my God, they're so needy. Oh, they need a hand up. They need, you know, equality and, you know, this equality of thinking and stuff. To me, it's like you have taken that role from the many white men that could have had it, even the black men like that could have had it as well. Like, how comes we haven't seen that first? We're seeing a white man, then a black woman, not a white man and then a black man. I'm like, how did we miss black men on this one? Because really and truly, we need to see somebody like that type of character being played by a black man, because I think it would prep them up a little bit more as well. They've been constantly shat on, do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, they're the ones that are like, you know, incarcerated and stuff like that. They need somebody who stands up for them and says, you know, I see you and I look like you. So how comes they're being left out too? I'm just a little bit like, how did we jump over? And let's just remember, this is the same people that said we were the ugliest and we were like the bottom. Yeah. How comes all of a sudden they've just slung us to the top? Just jumped over white women, jumped over black men, jumped over an Asian Jesus, you know, not even a Korean Jesus or anything like that. You're just jumping for the black woman. I think, and I call bullshit, I think that this is a setup. And I think that we have to look at it as, if we're going to get used in this kind of way, we need to know what the backlash and what happens after this when they've done it. Just saying.
I would like to directly respond to all of your assertions that you made in your last argument. What you demonstrated there is an unfair society and pecking order, that you think that white men are at the top, and then you have a white woman, and then you have a black man, and then you have a black woman. That's what is wrong with society. And this is precisely why I back what they're doing, because it's perceptions like that would put the black woman at the bottom, that she must wait her turn, that everybody else should get a fair crack at being Jesus and she has to wait her time. I say no. And I'm glad that they did this. No waiting for nothing. She is a talented actress. She is proficient at her art, and she deserves to play Jesus, because Jesus, in this iteration, it's a musical, it's a mythical character. It's not even in chronological order. Like, let's give Cynthia her flowers. And no, us black women don't have to wait for the black man to have his time to shine, because he's shining all the time. He can shine from wherever he is because he's a black man. And just because she's given her chance doesn't detract from anybody else. Make more films and cast whoever you want. It shouldn't be one in, one out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are we not doing closing arguments? Was that it?
You still got stuff.
I just want to say, I'm just saying, the last thing I want to say is white power.
My closing argument.
That wasn't what I was going to say, by the way. I just couldn't think of the first thing that came out.
My closing statement is, times are changing. And in a world run by Trump, I love that there are still people out there that are prepared to give a job to a black woman. Thank you.
It was a good closing argument.
In the comments, let us know who won. Are you team Sharona or are you team Nana?
For humour, you should be team Sharona, because, like, come on now, like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely.
I think we need like an award for who gives like the worst. Because Nana, up until today, Nana held it.
And I had the best one.
There were people in our comment section backing what I said about the tag.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Like, Trump has supporters. So what? What's the point? Yeah? Doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So up until today, you had it. But Sharona, you have the award. We're going to call it the FAF Award. Yeah? For just talking complete Fraff.
The Fraff Award. All right, guys, let us know in the comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This was Wild Shit White People Do, Part 1.
Part 1.
We will be back again with a Part 2 soon. And join us next week for more The
Queenagers.
Bye.